Good evening. My name is Nicholas Iwamoto, and I am the king of trauma of the whole world, and I'm proud of that. And when I'm done speaking, uh, you might agree with me. I survived the most violent attempted murder ever committed, ever. And I have one of the rarest and most evil diseases that exists, and I'm still here. I'm still fighting. So you guys are in for a treat tonight. You are about to hear the craziest story you will ever hear. This is the story of my life, and it starts right now. So February 1st, 2009, I was about to enlist in the Hawaii Army National Guard, and I thought I had heart problems. I didn't want to wait to see a cardiologist. So, in my infinite wisdom, I decided to hike up a really steep mountain in Honolulu called Coco Crater. And I decided, okay, if I have a heart attack, I won't enlist. If I don't have a heart attack, then I will raise my right hand and I will serve my country. So it turns out my heart was okay, but everything else was not. It was tested in the ultimate way, and it didn't stop beating. An individual had a schizophrenic break, and he thought Japanese men wearing blue were government agents and were going to kill him. And I happened to be half Japanese and wearing blue, and so I got to the top of the mountain, and he tried to kill me. He stabbed me 18 times, mostly in the head, throat, stomach. And then I fought back, and he got mad. I caused him as much pain as I could in my final moment. And so he pushed me off a cliff, and I fell 100 feet. 100 feet. I broke my neck, fractured my skull, both my lungs collapsed. Left lung was punctured, epidural hematoma, concussion, broken right ankle, liver was stabbed, diaphragm was stabbed, artery in my temple got severed, my jugular vein was stabbed. I lost 5 pints of blood. And thanks to the efforts of Good Samaritans, paramedics, firefighters, doctors, nurses, I made it. By the grace of God, I made it. I was in the hospital for 1 month. I had 7 operations. I was fully awake for 2 of them. And I had no idea a person could experience such pain. And the things they did to keep me alive, I still dream about those things. And I also had no idea a person could become so strong. I'm not a tough guy. I listen to Amy Grant and Taylor Swift. But, in that hospital, I became a man of steel. I rose to the occasion, and there's one reason for that. It's the G word, gratitude. I was grateful to be alive. I was shocked to be alive, and that gratitude allowed me to endure the unendurable. And I left the hospital. I was 23. I just turned 23 when I was in the ICU. I was just a boy. I wasn't ready to go home. And I knew my life would be marked by a lot of physical and mental pain. But I was grateful because I knew the alternative. And there were a lot of challenges after my attack. I got rear-ended twice after breaking my neck. My attacker was acquitted because of temporary insanity. And I had a terrible experience as a victim in the justice system. And I didn't want others to experience what I did. So I've been fighting for victims' rights ever since I got hurt. In 2012, my attacker was released from the state hospital so he could go to college across the street at Windward Community College unescorted. So there he was after committing the most violent attempted murder in the state's history, trying to kill 2 people. And he was allowed to go to college on his own, leave the mental hospital, go to class, and then after class go back to the hospital. That is the most disgusting, shocking betrayal of justice imaginable. Everyone in Hawaii was a victim of that abomination, not just me. And I was left out of the loop the whole time. My mom and I had to find out on the news. And she has PTSD because of that. Not because of my attack, but because of seeing him on the news and not being warned. And she hasn't been the same person ever since. And I didn't want others to experience that. So, you know, once I rebuilt my life, I took my battle for victims' rights to the next level. I became part of Marcy's Law for Hawaii, an effort to give victims of violent crime the same constitutional rights as their attackers. That's where I met Meg Garvin, a wonderful woman and an inspiration. And she gave a brilliant defense of the law. It was really inspiring to see her hold up under some pretty withering interrogation. I mean, it was really stunning to see. And not only is she a wonderful person and a friend, she is one of my most loyal Nick's Knits clients. I'm a knitter. I knit. It saved my life. The first knitters were fishermen, so I knit scarves, beanies, potholders, coasters, and it puts food on the table. It's mental and physical therapy. I've met a lot of good people through knitting. If you're going through hell, you gotta take pleasure in the small things. You gotta find something you love and hold on to it. And I've met a lot of good people in my battle for victims' rights. Survivors of sexual assault, domestic violence, and especially family members of murder victims. I mean, we have an unbreakable bond because I know what their loved ones have been through. I know what those final moments are like, and I want to be able to say to them that in their loved ones' last moments, they were not alone because I was with them. I made some pretty amazing progress rebuilding my life. It was quite a comeback, and then it unraveled in 2020. That was a hard year for a lot of us. I was diagnosed with lipodystrophy, a rare disease that causes permanent fat loss. So you lose every ounce of fat on your body, and then your organs shut down very slowly. So because I don't have enough fat, I can't sit down. I can't lay on my back. I haven't sat down voluntarily in 3 years. I haven't laid on my back in 3 years. I'm gonna lose every ounce of fat on my whole body, and I'll just say it. Chronic illness for me is about 100 times more painful than getting stabbed and pushed off a cliff. So all of you that struggle with pain and illness, you're not alone. I'm right there with you in that battle. But I am grateful. Why am I grateful for this life of pain and suffering? There's one reason for that. One reason that I'm still here. One reason I keep fighting. And here it is. Every moment I've spent on this earth since I looked into that lunatic's eyes has been a bonus. This is all extra time. I know how lucky I am to be here. I don't forget it. And when the pain is too much, I do 2 things. I listen to classical music, and I tell myself, dude, Nick, this is the price you pay for your survival. Be grateful. keep pushing forward. You're doing a great job. Just keep going. And my attacker, he took a lot from me. He took my innocence, my youth, my right to fight for my country, my health. But he did not take my life. He did not take my faith. He did not take my humor. And he did not take my kindness. Yet this world has not been kind to me, but I treat people with kindness. Besides my sister, she doesn't deserve it. She's really mean to me. And why is that important? Why is that my greatest achievement? There's one reason for that. When we are gone, when we are just a memory in the hearts of our loved ones, people aren't going to think about what kind of house we lived in, what kind of car we drove. They will think about one thing and one thing only. How did we make people feel? How do you make people feel about themselves? Kindness is the only thing that matters. Yeah, I've become tough as nails, but I did not become hard. That is my greatest achievement. So I want to leave you on a positive note tonight. This is meant as a hopeful message to show you the power of the human spirit and the power of second chances. So my attacker stabbed me in the head 6 times. And that means he tried to stab me in the brain 6 times. That's personal. And what did I do with that brain? I went back to school. I graduated with a 4.0, $90,000 in scholarships and grants. I became a published author. I fought with every fiber of my being for victims' rights. I knit thousands of beanies, scarves, potholders, coasters, blankets, and I was able to help a lot of people with my story, and I'm going to help a lot more. I became a better golfer after my attack. I became a better person after my attack, and that is just awesome. And most importantly, I think I showed the world that what has been broken can become unbreakable. Thank you.